this week, Google is back in the news, making another credentials announcement, security announcement, that 150 million Google account holders are going to be automatically enrolled into the two-factor authentication scheme.
So, David, what does this actually mean for those users? What kind of two-factor authentication are they going to be enrolled in, and how's this going to happen for them?
It's pretty much what you'd expect. So it can be done by a code sent to your mobile phone. It can be an app, authentication app, or it could be a hardware key. But the important thing here is how Google are choosing you and what the process involves. And they tell me, I've been talking to the Director of Account Security and Safety at Google, Gumi Kim, who told me they're making sure to ensure the least disruption to users, that this selection process will mean those who regularly sign in or use Google products on a mobile device and who, importantly, have recovery information on their accounts already, so a phone number or an email address. And then when it comes to the process, they'll give you 7 days notice that you're about to be enrolled in this scheme. You can click and enroll automatically if you'd rather get it over and done with. But importantly, you can also opt out, so it's not going to be forced on people.
This is really good, isn't it? And I think this is the greatest security innovation we've seen in recent years, which is the use of smartphone biometric security to secure everything. We've seen it with Apple Pay and Google Pay. We've seen it with how Apple allows you to sign into accounts. We're now seeing it clearly. Clearly, Google's been pushing it for a while now as well.
And Microsoft.
And Microsoft, yeah, you talked about it the other week. I think this is, for me personally, this is brilliant because it's everything from your kids to your parents can do this, right? It's completely fine. They already understand how to secure their devices, and all this is doing is relying on the fact that a smartphone is much more secure than anything on the internet that's secured by a username and a password.
Absolutely. We're seeing all the big tech giants moving towards what they call passwordless. And in the case of Microsoft, for example, it's truly passwordless if you opt into their scheme. You get rid of the passwords altogether. They're not sitting there in the background. Google hasn't gone that far yet. You'll still need a login credential, so username and password, which will then kick in this second factor of authentication. So it's a good move. I think there's still more to be done. I'd like to see it actually become the default for everybody, not an optional exercise. And that's what Google are doing for YouTube creators, for example. They've told me that by the end of this year, 2 million YouTube creators will have to use 2FA. No ifs, no buts, no opt-outs. If you want to make money on YouTube, you've got to have two-factor authentication. And I think that's the way to go.